What's up, guys? Uh, this video, I know it might be a little bit controversial, but it's all good. I mean, this is this channel is not to hurt any feelings. Um, it's not to incite anything. It's just to be able to discuss without arguing. I mean, obviously, who's gonna really argue with me? Because these videos are usually by myself. Maybe I'll bring somebody in the next video, but I don't know yet. And people are gonna put what they want in the comment section, but this channel is to bring everybody together and to learn from one another, not to say that other people are wrong and that I'm right, or that for you guys to say that you're right and that I'm wrong. It's all about opinions and upbringing, and if there's something we could debate about, let's debate it, but let's not argue over it. There's a difference between having a constructive conversation and actually learning something about one another, when you're actually listening and paying attention to that other person's opinion, than it is to just yap at each other, because if you're doing this, one of you's, or actually neither one of you are listening to the other. You're just talking out of your ass, essentially, because you don't want to be, because you don't want to learn anything. With that being said, let's get on with it. And today's topic is religion. Now, me personally, I don't ever put I have a religious preference, because, and it's not like this is how I grew up per se. I don't know. I've always been this way since I was little. I don't know if it's just because of the way, in a way, we were raised, because we're not. Anyways, I don't have a specific religion. I mean, you know, to me, I guess if anything, it's Christianity, and the Christian and Catholic churches is what I study, obviously, because it's what I was raised around. But I think I'm one of those few people nowadays that was just either brought up or just naturally just came to me, to where, I mean, we were never forced to go to church. I have three younger brothers. At times, yeah, we would kind of be forced to go, but it wasn't like an everyday thing. I think we would go maybe once every other couple of months. Um, and with that being said, I'm also Native American, and we practice our own beliefs, and that, honestly, with that, I'm more in tuned with. I participate in more. Well, I have up until I honestly, till this past year, because of all the stuff that I've been going through, and the title that this guy has. I don't think it's right. I'm not doing it for the right reason, and I really don't want to be around him if I start participating again. So that's just something that I got to deal with. If you guys are Native Americans, um, and you have people that hold certain positions, you would kind of understand what I'm going through. Maybe you won't agree with it, but at least you understand what I'm going through. Um, my my great grandpa, he liked he liked Buddha. He wasn't a Buddhist or anything, but he liked, Buddha. Um, I know he had a necklace with the Buddha charm on there. Um, We don't really have anything much in my family, but I just learned to appreciate other people's religions, and that wasn't drained in our head or drilled in our head. It was just something for me personally that I feel like I just came up. Like, if you were a Muslim, you know, if you were a Jew, um, and if I say things that offend you guys, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not around stuff like that enough to really see what's politically correct, and I don't really believe in that, especially when I don't mean any harm by it. You know, so if I say certain things that may offend you, I'm sorry. It's just point me in the right direction. You know, that way I don't make the same mistake again. But I've met a lot of Muslim people. Uh, I have yet to personally meet anybody that's really into the Jewish religion. Um, yeah, I mean, I've met people from all over the world, but especially with my military background, of course, when I was deployed, I met, Romanians, uh, Gurkhas, obviously, Afghani nationals, um, Lithuanians. I never really talked to religion about them, but I'm pretty sure everybody's kind of in the same little category. But with that being said, I think that's what makes me stand out, or I don't want to say special, but yeah, I guess it makes me a rare type of person that I don't have a religious preference, because I feel like to to uh to label me at one thing kind of it would, I think, would cloud your mind, because me personally, like with Muslim religion, it's something I've always been curious about. And when I joined the military in basic training, I met this Muslim guy, and I just asked him about it, like, what is it that's different? He didn't try to push anything. He just really explained to me how some of the things are, and I wish I remembered everything that he talked about. And maybe I'll start studying that stuff again, on my own. But a lot of the stuff, to me, it preaches all the exact same stuff. Like, just treat others right, or treat them the way you want to be treated. Respect others, and if you live your life on the bad side of things, then when your time's up, then just expect the worst possible outcome to happen. Like, I believe every religion has some kind of hell in a way. Whether it's a burning pit of fire, I don't know. Whether you're there forever, I don't know. But that's just something that people are gonna have to find out for themselves, if they, that they are gonna find out for themselves if they don't, change their bad ways. And I mean, not everybody's perfect. I know myself, I'm probably gonna have to answer for some things. If I mean, obviously, because I was around it more, I know more about Christianity and Catholicism, which I feel like those two things are the same. Other than that, Catholics, we just have saints, you know, like my two saints that I don't pray to them, but if maybe I'll start, is Saint Anthony and Saint Michael. And Christians, they don't believe that you should not be what's the word I'm looking for? You shouldn't be worshiping anybody else other than God and Jesus. So, but it's the same. Obviously, in a way, I would say Catholicism has more of a traditional way of doing things. Like it's the same rituals that they go through, the same type of prayers, and I mean they have certain subjects that they talk about, but I don't, like I said, I don't go to church, so I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. But from my past experiences, that's what it felt like. And then with going to a Christian church, it's more like they usually have a different topic to talk about, and it's more like it's not in the traditional sense. It's more for you to be more engaged, like music and dancing. And so it really depends, like to be honest, here in where in the part of Texas that I stay at, El Paso, they have a more of a traditional atmosphere, especially at church. Well, at least in the church that I go to, when it comes to being here. And the thing is that me being native, and then the Catholic, they intertwine because of the history between my tribe and just the town. My tribe is easily over 100 years older than the United States itself. Like just my little tribe that's here in El Paso, 1682. That's when we were officially established here. So a lot of our practices, yeah, we still, when we have our ceremonies, we still go to, part of the ceremonies is going to, church. And the church is, I think, is a mission. And the mission is, I want to say, it's the second oldest church in Texas. So, yeah. So I know kind of more about that because obviously I live here and I'm more around that. But when I'm back in, well, I'm originally from California, it's mostly Christian churches that I'm around, and it's I mean, I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's kind of awkward for me just because I'm not used to all the high, the high toned music and the dancing, and just I'm more of just bowing my head and just praying. Excuse me. But the way I see it is I learn to appreciate both because I get to take from these two things and put them together, because one's not right, the other's not wrong. They're both right and wrong in certain ways. And when it comes to that, then it's where it comes to me and I interpret it my own personal way. That's why I feel like church shouldn't really be taught by certain people, and I don't believe that that they should tell you, well, you're wrong for thinking it this way. Like, if you really read your Bible or Quran or Torah, you read it, if that's what you believe in or whatever you believe in, if you read it and you study it without any external influence, then I think that's the best way to do it. Because when you go to church and there's a priest or a pastor or a preacher, whatever you want to call them, up there telling you this is what it's saying, then you're getting influenced by somebody else's opinion, essentially. Yeah, they might have studied it, but they studied it. Everybody's mind works differently, especially when it comes to emotions and morals and behaviors. You know, everybody's mind's different. Everybody functions differently. So I would say, yeah, go to those places. That way you get some kind of insight. Because sometimes there's things in those books that, for some reason, you just can't grasp. You can't understand. So maybe you go over there and you talk to them. Maybe not going to a whole, going to the whole process of going on a Sunday. Just go whenever you can, just to ask them off guard. That way you get a one-on-one with them. Hey, I was reading the Bible, or I was reading this, and I came to this passage. I don't understand what it's trying to tell me, but I just want some kind of opinion about this passage. That way at least I can get my mind going. That should be your only kind of influence, external influence, when it comes to reading that stuff, you know? I mean, I might be wrong. I mean, I might be thinking about it the wrong way, but that's just how I feel. The funny thing is with me is that, yeah, I study that stuff, but I am willing to study other things too, you know? That's just how I am. If somebody was to invite me, like, hey, you should, hey, maybe you should read this, or here's a passage that I think you should read from this, I'll do it. Because that's just, there's not, to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with even reading, different religious, religious books, because it helps you kind of interpret. Oh, look, I'm pretty sure if you really read a lot of the stuff from different books and you really sat down and you read everything and you were able to, or at least write notes down, you're gonna notice that a lot of the stuff, they all speak the same stuff. Everything has its basic concept, and they are all damn near identical in some fashion. That, at least that's the way I see it. Like I said again, I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel. I mean, like, I have on my arm right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, I have an angel, and he's holding a gun, so. But that's supposed to be a guardian angel. And you know what insults me is so I had this incident at work one time where I had to do my job. Like, I had to escort this guy out because he wasn't allowed on our property. I work at I'm not even going to talk about that, but I work security. I'm a security supervisor. And, I had to escort this guy out because he was banned from our property, and this guy happened to be a Muslim. And this Muslim looks at my arm and points at it and says, "You know that's bullshit, right?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, that's on your arm. He's like, "You know that's all bullshit, right?" He's like, "You really believe in that?" I'm like, "Yeah, what does it matter to you?" And then he started, well, you're wrong and you're gonna go to hell, and Allah's the one and only true path to, whatever. And I don't mean to disrespect any of the Muslims that might be watching this, but the fact that he was so arrogant, it pisses me off to the point where I just wanted to, say bad things about what he thought. And I'm not saying that I was gonna, say F Muslims or whatever, but if that's the way, if he was taught to, obviously that came from either he grew up automatically hating other religions, or that's just how he was taught, then, you know, fuck those kind of people. I hate those kind of people that don't have their minds opened up for different opinions about stuff. You could have said, "Hey, how come you have that?" I'm just curious because I'm a Muslim. We don't believe that. I just want to know why you believe in something like that. Like, I don't know if you guys even have angels or anything, but this is what I believe. I believe in angels. I believe in, Jesus. I believe that there is a God. I believe there's a heaven and there's a hell, and hopefully I don't end up for all the bad stuff that I've done. I really hope that I don't end up in hell. And to me, hell, it could be, a a very hot place to be at. But at the same time, I feel like every fear that you have, every negative thing that you've gone through your life, I think it just goes and plays over and over and over. And then sometimes I do believe that it's not forever, that it's like prison. Like, oh, well, you fucked up here. We sentence you to, 25 years. And 25 years doesn't seem a lot, but you know what they say, a day here on earth is 1,000 years in hell. I think it's something like that. Anyways, 25 years. Just imagine 25 years. You really line those days up on a piece of paper, and then you put, for every day of those 25 years, you put 1,000 years per day. You know what I'm saying? So that's a long ass time. But yeah, somebody like that, I've never. The only thing that I have an issue with was when I was deployed, and the Afghan locals, throwing rocks at us, and the Taliban, trying to, call us infidels and all that, and maybe they're right. Who the fuck knows? Everybody thinks they're right up until they meet God, and that's why I say, that's why there's that quote that's only God can judge me, because people like that, they shouldn't have that. No man should have that kind of power to really dictate, or that kind of power to enforce what I believe in. There's no man. Like, there's that other saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I think that's what kind of happened. And I don't condone what terrorists do, but in a way I understand where they come from. because me as a tribal member, as a Native American, in a certain aspect, both types of people are going through the same thing. Only my people went through this, early on in time than what these people are doing. So I kind of get, I don't respect what they do, as in, like, I respect, there's that line about respecting your enemy, a warrior respecting the enemy, because you don't ever underestimate, a true warrior never underestimates his enemy. He always thinks that a true warrior, a true fighter, will always have his mind set that the enemy is having the upper hand in some type of way. Once you become arrogant, that's your downfall. When you think that your enemy has no upper hand against you, then that's when you start losing, because you relax and you become complacent and you just underestimate them, and then that leads to your downfall. As long as you always say that that the possibility of them being better than you, or they fight harder than you, or whatever it is, that should be fuel to make you push harder. Make you be the best warrior that you can be. And that's what I do. I don't ever underestimate any kind of enemy that I might face, or any type of issue that I might face. And it's not thinking negatively, it's just making sure that I'm on guard, that my mind is not being arrogant, that I'm not being cocky. Because, like they said in the military, complacency kills, and that's all it takes is for you to be arrogant. Now, with that being said, I do respect, when I was over there, I did respect my enemy, because I know what they're capable of. And, I know I have a few friends that I don't want to talk about them without the permission. So let's just say that they know what the enemy is capable of too. First-hand experience. But with that being said, like, you have a foreign people going over there, and for whatever reason it is, whether it's right or wrong, you got a foreign people coming to your home. And okay, so like us, we're there in Afghanistan. For me personally, I feel like it's the right reason, but I don't get into politics. I really don't care why the real reason, but why the reason why I went there is because it's a personal reason for me. I wanted to I wanted to fight, whatever. It's a selfish reason, whatever, but that's my reason. With that being said, if you really think on the flip side, if you're a Muslim in your home village, all of a sudden you see these foreigners come and they try to dictate to you how you should live and whatever, then I would have an issue. Like, I get it. I believe that the women over there should have they should have their rights, like our women here in our country. I believe that, little girls, I have a daughter. I love my daughter so much, and when I see these videos of women and these little girls getting stoned, it reminds me of my daughter, and it pisses me off. That's why I wanted to go over there and fight. And I didn't even have a daughter. I just knew back then when I was younger, that I would always have a girl. And to let say they came over here and tried doing that shit, no, I'd rather die than to let somebody put harm to my daughter just because she wants to learn how to read, or or get an education. That's not gonna happen. So stuff like that I don't believe in, and they should rot in whatever hell that they believe in. But at the same time, if you kind of think about it, if you take all that other stuff out, they're just like my people in a way. It's just like natives in a way. And like I said, it's gonna be controversial. So I'm not saying that we're exactly the same. We're not. You know, we were a peaceful people, but a lot of the tribes here in America were farmers, you know, or they were nomadic tribes, and they only took from the land what they needed. When the settlers came, that was an issue because settlers would come in, they were destroying the environment by, you know, like say the Plains tribes, they had, I mean, you know, they relied on following the herds of buffalo. Now, and they only killed what they needed to survive. Now, when the settlers came, they were killing off the buffalo to sell their hides. They didn't even use the meat, and that was just a waste. And when you really think about it, if you overkill a certain, you don't know how much damage can be done once you kill off a certain, even the tiniest thing could be the most essential part of that environment for it to keep cycling through, you know. Like, I mean, this is not really. It's all a ripple effect, you know. So of course, these people, my types of people, they became angry. And when you come over here and you start trying to take what wasn't yours to begin with, that's another issue. So what did all the tribes do? Fight back. The only reason why they failed, I believe, is because not only were we fighting against outsiders, we were also fighting amongst each other. So we were killing each other off, and then the settlers were coming in and killing us. So that's why I feel like we lost. If we would have banded together, then maybe it would have made some kind of difference. Because, yeah, they had horses and they rode them, but when they brought horses to us, we learned to ride better than they ever thought was possible. You know, they had rifles. We ended up learning how to use rifles ourselves and becoming expert marksmen with them. With the Muslim people, that's, I think, what in a way they got right that we got wrong was banding together. I mean, now they're kind of falling apart, you know, in certain aspects of it, but like all the tribes in, like, say Afghanistan, essentially, that are with the, you know, that believe in what the Taliban's doing, they all agree to it, and they don't have no internal beefs that much that they can't work out, because they all agree that they see a bigger picture, that we are the real enemy, and they're gonna settle their little side differences in order to help the bigger cause. And that's why I think they were able to, and mind you, they've been fighting for thousands and thousands of years, you know, for that land. So it's not new to them. For us, it was completely new. For Native Americans, it was completely new, because the only thing we've ever had to fight each other for was, you know, just land, hunting grounds, you know, just little things just for us to get by. When the settlers came, it's not like we were at war with thousands and thousands of people, you know. So when the settlers came with all this manpower and all this weaponry, we try to fight them off how we would have fought, you know, regular tribes. You know, we didn't. You know, we weren't. I don't want to say we weren't overly aggressive, because at times I know we were, but it's not like we try to really kill off entire population. You know, like I've heard stories of where, you know, with my people in particular, they some tribe came into our land, they kidnapped our women, some of our women, and took them to their village, and our people sent people to go follow them. We got our women back, and we killed some of the men. But it's not like we wiped out the entire village because of that, you know. And I mean, these stories I haven't heard in a long time. So, if any of my fellow peoples are watching this, like, my bad. You know, it's not like I write any of the stories and you know, that's not good for me to really say. But you know, with all the stuff I've been going through, and you know, me kind of leaving the native life for the military, and that I joined the military in 2011, and I'm still in it, you know. So from 2011 and now, that's a lot of time to really kind of forget. You know, I was learning the language when I left. I mean, I didn't really have time to learn it, and there's no excuse. I know I should be learning that, but when I get there, you know. Anyways, that kind of went off topic of the religion, but like I said, there's these little things that make sense to me in a way, not all the way, not 100%, but at least the majority of it kind of makes sense. Well, there's something I was gonna say about I don't know. Maybe I'll make another video. Yeah, I've never really been the type of person to judge people just because of the type of beliefs that they have. You know, like, you know, it's funny. I have this, you know, this angel right here, and then I got bad and evil right here. That's my Eminem tattoo, but whatever. I got that when I was in high school, so, you know, but I would say for any of you guys out there that may still have a closed mind about, you know, religion, or about at least giving a chance to some other kind of belief, you're just really hurting yourself, and you're gonna hurt your future. You know, if you have kids or whatever, you're just gonna hurt them too, because you're not allowing them to have an open mind and learning to appreciate other people's cultures and beliefs. And just say, for the hell of it, what if what you believed in was not the correct way, and the correct way was somebody that you were, you know, putting down all the time, and you told them that you were wrong, and then later at the end you found out that they were telling the truth the entire time, you know. I just remembered just because of that. Okay, so in the last video I said I had just finished watching the show The Bible, and for some reason I just tried to watch it, and you know what I thought was funny was that the Jews in Jerusalem are preaching to a God, and waiting for the Messiah and all this stuff to happen. And then when Jesus comes around, they condemn him for no reason other than they thought that he was a liar. And obviously, if you believe in Christianity and Catholicism, were they not obviously wrong? Like, when I was watching that, what I was thinking to myself, you are some stupid motherfuckers to not believe them. Like, and you know what's funny though is that if Jesus was to come back right now, nobody would believe. Nobody would believe it. They would call this dude crazy. They would probably laugh at him, spit at him, and then at the end of the day, when it comes out that it is really him, that he's back, what are y'all gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? And I just thought that was something that's really, it brought a weird feeling to me. That's why I say respect, always have an open mind. Like, yeah, I know there's gonna be some crazy people out there, but you know a crazy person. Now, if somebody just comes up to you, like, I don't know. Like, even me, if Jesus was to walk up to me and he told me I'm Jesus and I'm back, I don't know if I would believe him. But there's nothing wrong with at least giving that person a chance to prove it. I don't want to say that because I feel like that's just challenging that person, But I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say is just have an open mind. That's all you can do is just have an open mind and respect each other. Respect each other's beliefs. I respect everybody's beliefs, and I'm really willing to at least learn, or I am willing to learn some kind of piece of whatever it is that you have to offer, because what's wrong with that? And it's always fun to be like, hey, that's just like what my people believe in, that's crazy. I love that when I would participate in my ceremonies, like we have I used to be a social dancer when I was younger, and when I moved here when I was like in the third grade. I started participating in dances when I was like in the fourth grade. And from the fourth grade up until I turned 17 years old, until the point where I left for the military, excuse me, I participated in my religious practices for my tribe every year, throughout the entire year. And I was also a social dancer, which there's difference between the ceremonial practices that we have and then the social ceremonies that we have. The social ceremonies are things that we do for outsiders to kind of get where we come from and our beliefs, and and see it in dance. And that was me. I enjoyed doing that because the people that would come to see us were all from like all over the world. It's El Paso, Texas. Who the hell, foreigners from Australia want to come to El Paso? You know what I mean? But there is people like that. I don't know if it's because of Fort Bliss. That's just right there. Maybe whoever's in the military, they came here for training or whatever, and their family they got their family to come down here. Whatever it is, I appreciate those people that came. They enjoyed what we did and they respected our culture. When I used to also I participated in what was it? I believe it was a Gathering of the Nation. I don't know. It's been so long. I think it was a Gathering of the Nations. I'm not sure. I participated in that. I participated in this event where people from all across the world got together, and essentially what they would do is that they would demonstrate what their cultural background was. So like there was there was us who when I participated in that event, I did my social dances, and then we had these German men out there that had I forgot what it was called, but I just remember they had a saw, and it was a competition, and you had to see, I guess, see who could cut through the log the fastest. And I remember there's this big, huge Russian dude there, and other native tribes there too as well, and what else? Yeah, just stuff like that, and just stuff like that is what I like, because it brings people together, and it's a good time. You know, and that's not even the religious sense. That's just culture, period. But back to the religious part of it. I mean, if somebody invites you, if you have a friend or just a co-worker or whatever, if they invite you, hey, you want to come with me to church, or hey, you want to come with me here, why not? At least one time. If you don't like it, if you didn't like it, just tell them, you know what, yeah, I appreciate you taking me, that's just not for me, just be respectful. If you don't agree with it, or if you didn't like being there, just be nice about it. Don't say, well, I don't appreciate what they said there because I don't believe that. No, don't start doing that. We gotta learn to come together as a not just as people, but just as it's more than that. Just as we gotta bring our thoughts together and just become one as a whole. Like just imagine the stuff that we could do if we all were able to at least appreciate each other's religion. Just with that idea in itself, like just if everybody appreciated other people's religious beliefs. You maybe, yeah, there's a lot of other things that we don't agree about, like politics or laws, or maybe the way that other societies work as a whole. But if we just got down to at least understanding and respecting and appreciating other people's cultures, or at least their religion, they're in the religious sense, I think this world would be in a way better place than it is right now. And it's not bad, but it's not good either, And yeah, I mean, well, fuck it. Why not? What else do we have to lose? What's wrong with at least trying to understand and appreciate somebody else's religion? You don't realize what positive ripple effect that could make. And all you have to do is just change that mindset to stop letting other things cloud your mind. So I know this video is almost a whole hour long, so I'm gonna wrap it up already. Comment down below and tell me what your thoughts of this video are, and some things, that maybe I should look into, in your religion, whatever you believe in, or if you don't believe in, why you're an atheist. What else? You know, ask me any questions about just anything. Like, we could talk about anything on here. I think I'm gonna try to make this channel more like a podcast, but we'll see. I mean, I guess that's what essentially this is, more like a podcast, but with specific topics, not just random stuff. Like, I wish I could be Joe Rogan right now, because I love his podcast. He's kind of the reason why I started doing this too. But I mean, we'll get there when we get there. See what happens. Hey, maybe eventually I could get on the show. That would be cool, right? Yeah, right. I'm just a nobody. I'm just a guy talking about random stuff and what I believe in. I don't have that kind of clout yet. But yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe. And when you comment down below, just give me ideas that we could talk about. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you believe in, and maybe something that I could look into, or if you notice that what you noticed other religions have that are similar to yours. Just whatever about, you know. I'm all ears, and we'll talk about them. Yeah. So I'll see you guys. Remember, rise above the ashes and stay positive. See ya.